Hey ladies, welcome back to Single on Purpose, the podcast where we embrace our single season, step into our purpose, and create a life we love. I am your host, Brittany Batson, and today we're diving into healthy friendships and community. How to be a good friend and how to attract the kind of friendships that support your purpose. Because here's the truth. Your circle shapes your future, and the people you surround yourself with either push you toward your purpose or pull you away from it. And even deeper than that, either those people propel you towards God or they pull you away from Him. So today we're breaking down what it really means to be a good friend, how to attract purpose-aligned friendships, when to let go of friendships that no longer serve you or your purpose or where you believe you are being called to go, because sometimes you are being called and pulled in a direction that you are not yet ready to be in, but you need friendships that encourage you and push you along that journey. And if you've been feeling like your friendships aren't quite where you want them to be, or if you're actually ready to build a circle that inspires, supports, and challenges you, this episode is for you. So let's get into it. So, friendships. Wow, what a big topic, and it's so subjective in my opinion, and it really depends on who you're talking to, their past experiences, their thought processes, and how they see friendships as well. So this is just my opinion and how I see it. Now, I believe that your friendships are a reflection of who you are. I love the saying that says, show me who your friends are, and what? I'll show you who you are, or I'll show you your future. And this is so true because the people you spend the most time with impact how you think, how you move, what you say, what you believe is possible, and how you act. Think about your closest friends right now, and think about your girlfriend and your best friend, and when you go out to eat, and when you go get coffee, and when you're in the car and you hang out. Do they inspire you? Do they hold you accountable? Or do they keep you stuck in old habits, negative thinking, and self-doubt? The hard truth is your friendships can feel heavy, draining, or sometimes even one-sided. It may be time to reevaluate them. Friendships should feel like growth. They should not feel like obligation in this long, daunting task you're waiting to be over with. And they should feel like a safe space where you can be yourself and you don't have to feel less than, and you can really just be authentic. And if you're listening to this, I want you to know that these kind of friendships are possible and you can step into them, but you have to realize that you deserve them. But even before that, true, a good, healthy, strong friendship starts with you. Yes, exactly. I had to learn this. Being the friend you want to attract. It's just like having the partner that you want. You must attract them first. And we can talk about attracting friendships without first thinking about the role that we play, but that just wouldn't be realistic. Because why? Friendships are a two-way street. That's right. It's not just about what you can get out of them, but it's about what you can give. And you want loyal, uplifting friendships that embody qualities and traits that are strong, authentic, healthy, and true. So let's do a really quick friendship check-in really quick, everybody. And I want you to think about, do you celebrate your wins with your friends? Now, do you celebrate their wins the same way that you want them to celebrate yours? Do you genuinely feel happy for them? Or are you secretly inside of yourself kind of trying to figure out how to one-up them? Or are you secretly struggling with yourself? What am I really happy for them? Or they don't really deserve that? Or I could have did that better. Comparing yourself to them. Or are you authentically, truly happy and rooting for them? I want you to also think about, do you show up for your friends? Or are you the one that at the last minute has to cancel? Or you always come up with an excuse of why you can't be there, why you're late, why you have something else to do? Because you want your friends to be there for you in the front row cheering you on, right? And being a good friend is about having the character traits that embody that. And that's about being present, being authentic and true, being genuine, and having a heart for people. And when you start letting that energy fill you and you start giving that energy away to people, you will start to see it attracts that energy back, and you'll start to receive that friendship back. It's so important to find friendships that you want to pour into and that want to pour into you, but that also help and push you in the right direction. So how do you call in on the right friendships? Well, yes, you have to look at yourself. That's so important, and you can't overlook that at all. But it's also important to look at the people you are surrounded by and ask yourself, are these people aligned with what I believe? Are they doing the things that I want to do, or that I aspire to do, or that I like to do? Are they encouraging me? Are they encouraging other people around? Are they giving? Are they life-giving? Are they affirming? Do they love me and treat me in a way that I love and treat myself, or I know that I should be treated? Sometimes we can find ourselves in relationships out of a lack and out of a desperation. Just like I talked about in the other episode about relationships, about being in the wrong relationship. And sometimes we're in relationships that are negative, draining. They're no longer aligned with our values, but we feel stuck in them. We feel stuck that we can't get out of them. Well, I really want to encourage you to pray over your friendships. I really want to encourage you to take a step back and reflect over your friendship and reflect over the people in your life. And it's so important to do this because you never know. Sometimes you could have outgrown someone, okay? Yes, it's totally possible. Sometimes you outgrow people, sometimes they outgrow you, or put it this way, sometimes you all are no longer called to walk with each other in the same season, okay? You are on a different paths, and to me, that's okay. I think it's how you share that and how you still honor someone and how you still honor yourself and you still hold true to your values, even if you feel that you no longer are aligned with someone and you no longer want to share time and safe space with them. That's okay. You don't have to be hateful. You don't have to be hurtful. Stay true to who you are. I would assume you don't want to be hurtful and mean because you want to bear the fruits of the Spirit, right? Joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, all of those great things that keep you moving forward and keep you walking in God's goodness, right? When we don't embody those things, and we need to have a little sit down with God and ourselves, right? Because we never want to reflect poor behavior because someone has treated us poorly, right? It is sometimes the most hardest thing to do, to rise above, to be the biggest person in the room all the time, even when you want to play small. But I think as good people, as Christians in this world, it's going to call you sometimes to be that person. And I think it's in the hardest moments that we are called to be that person the most. So I really want you to think about just who you are as a person. What are your true values, your core values? What is it that you believe in? Who do you want to be? What do you feel called to do on this earth? And once you start to figure that out, you will be able to start to attract the right types of people, because you're going to start walking in your purpose and your calling, and you're going to start authentically being yourself, showing joy, peace, patience, kindness, forgiveness, self-discipline. You're going to start to look like, wow, she has her life together. Yes, ma'am. And you're going to start to attract those relationships, those friendships as well. You want to make sure you're always pushing yourself to be in a room with people that are just like you. Don't go back to who you used to be. Don't keep trying to hang out with people that used to serve the girl you used to be. It's time to move on. And yes, it's difficult and it's hard, and there is sometimes periods of loneliness and awkwardness, and you're trying to figure it out. That's good. Get uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable is such a good thing. It means that change is happening, growth is happening, that what used to suit you no longer fits. That is fantastic news. I know it gets scary. I know it gets uncomfortable and kind of cringy and makes you just, I'm just going to go back. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Don't go back. Don't go back, friend. It's not going to work out anyway. It's not going to work out because it's like putting on a shoe that is too small. Now, ladies, you know we can do it to a certain degree, right? But you know after an hour or two, they're coming off. It's over. Our toes are all scrunched up. We're struggling to get back to the car, and those high heels have got to go at that point, okay? Because they serve their purpose. We have moved on and we need to get a bigger size. I want you to know that that happens in life. Seasons, people come and go, opportunities come and go, friendships come and go, relationships come and go. That's okay. We have to just be able to trust God to know when to let go, but also trust God to see that, hey, I no longer serve this person and this person no longer serves me. I think it's time for us both to move forward. And we can do that in a way that respects one another. I can share my thoughts if I feel called and led to. I don't have to share my feelings if I don't feel that I need to, and I just need to pack my bag of dignity and walk away. That's okay too. I've had to tell myself, girl, you are almost to the point where you have no bags left. Get that bag of dignity up and walk away. Walk away. That's it. There's no need to cry, to keep someone around. There's no need to beg someone. No need to overly explain yourselves. Sometimes it's just no longer your time and space to share on this earth. It does not mean you both won't ever be aligned again. It just means for now, I need to continue to focus on what God has for me. I need to continue to focus on walking in the healthiest version of myself. And to do that, I'm going to pick up my bags and I'm going to walk away from this. And I'm going to move forward because I know that God has something better for me. Now, it may not be right now. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be in 2 weeks. It may not be in 2 months. And I may cry. I may journal. I may take walks. This may hurt. I may go to counseling. I may ask God why a few times, but I'm going to trust Him in every single moment, whether good or bad. And I'm going to believe that God has something for me. God has a community for me. I'm going to keep walking in that direction. If I keep walking back that way, I'm never going to reach that community. I'm never going to reach the people that are ready to cheer me on. I'm never going to reach the people that are saying, oh my goodness, we're so glad you're here. Yes, that's what God has called you to do. Oh yes, you're so good at that. Keep doing that. I'm never going to reach those people that encourage me, that are say, oh, don't worry about it. I'll pray for you. Oh, do you need anything? You're never going to reach those people. You're never going to reach those people that are willing to serve you, and you're never going to reach the people that you are called to serve as well. Because if you want to have friends that love you and encourage you and lift you up and that are funny and outgoing and love to travel and know themselves and are confident, girl, you better get on it. You better get on that, and you better be the same thing. Because at the end of the day, it is very difficult to ask for something that you are not trying to become yourself. It's very difficult. You're not naturally going to attract people that have their life together, that are sound, that are secure, that are happy, that are in a place financially where they can take care of themselves and travel and do things like that. If you don't have those things going for you already, or at least you are moving in that direction, it is very difficult because you won't understand how to sustain those relationships. How will you know how to sustain something that you have not been around, that you have not been taught how to sustain, you have not taken the time to read about, you have not been counseled in, and you are not yourself? I will tell you my biggest lessons are from reading, reflecting, walking with God, and from experiencing them. I've had to learn how to develop self-discipline, which is a fruit of the Spirit that is often overlooked, but is essential to life, let me tell you, because so many of us want to jump into friendships and have all these friends in the world and have all these dreams and goals and have a successful relationship. Do you know the discipline it takes to sustain these healthy things that you have asked and that you're asking for? It takes crazy discipline. Because when you don't feel like doing something, when you want something your way, when you don't want to see anyone else, guess what? You have to choose higher. You have to choose better. You have to choose selflessness. And that is not always easy. And you're not always going to do that because no one's perfect. But in essence, that's what all of these things require. And all of that comes from time, work ethic, putting in the work, reflecting, taking time to get to know yourself, building healthy habits, discipline. Yes, absolutely. I have so many people that want to learn how to do certain hobbies, but they want it to happen just like that. And I'm just like, it doesn't really work that way. You have to put in the time, the hours, the days, the years for some of these hobbies to come to life. You just don't know what people who are pros or who are experts in these fields have, the work that they have put in behind the scenes, because you don't see that. You don't see that part. You don't see the days that they stay up late, that they may not have slept that night, or they got up early again to go to bed late again because they have to keep going to get a deadline done. You don't know that part. All you kind of know sometimes is the end result and what you see, that they were able to make this big great thing happen, or they have these great friends, or they're able to take these trips, or they have this wonderful job, or they're an entrepreneur, whatever it is. Let me tell you, that came with some work. It came with some discipline. It came with some faith. It came with some character. Let me tell you, all of that. And it's important to know the truth, because sometimes people don't talk about it. They don't tell you, hey, to have those friends, to have that healthy relationship, you need to be on the path to understand what that means so that you can sustain it. Because why would God put a bunch of amazing people around you and you are hurting everybody all the time, and you don't care to make it better at all? Well, the good thing is that even when we don't deserve love, there is love always around us, because we can definitely always go to church and have that. But I'm talking about your deep best friend relationships, right? And you can always get connected in a small group. You can always get connected in a Bible study. You can always get connected in a group. That is actually true. But those deep, intimate relationships and friendships, you wonder why they're difficult to sustain? It may be you. It may be you. And if you start building and working on some of those unhealthy habits, and start working on how to make them healthier and grow, how to communicate better, how to control your emotions, how to say I'm sorry, how to realize, hey, it may be me, or hey, you know what? Let me humble myself and show up and support her like she shows up for me, because I'm rooting for her, because I know that God's working in me and He's working in her and him and him. He's working in all of us, and we all need to work together and root for each other, because we all are a part of one, right? Once you start realizing that, you will start to say, wait, I've been surrounded by love this whole time. You'll start to see different. Your perspective will start to be different, right? And you'll start to hurt less, and you'll start to love more, right? And you'll start to realize, wait, why would God surround me with love when I didn't deserve it? I'm going to stop right there, okay? And that's a whole nother podcast for a whole nother day that will change your life, okay? And the truth is, you'll realize He has. He has, because He does love you, and He believes in you, and He trusts the people around you to have the character that they've worked on to sustain the position that He has put them in, to love you to your next season. And it is your job to arise to that season, that occasion, to be in alignment and in a position so that you can do it for the next person that was just like you. So when you think about friendships, attracting the right people, getting into community, it's so much bigger than us. It's so much bigger than us. And when you learn how to work on this, truly work on this, everything else will start to connect and make sense. And it is difficult sometimes, but it's beautiful, because you realize what life is really all about. You realize that. And as you go on this journey to discovering your purpose as a single girl, you start to realize, wait, noted. You start to get these little nuggets of how God reveals the smallest but biggest moments that are life-changing to you. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, because I do want you to do the work, and I do want you to do the reflection, and I do encourage you to get the book Single on Purpose that I just released February 14th, 2025, because I speak about this. There's a whole chapter written about this, how to become a better friend, how to attract the right friendships, how to build a community of friends around you and be a great friend, receive great friendship, and walk in your purpose together so that you're not doing life alone. It's hard to do life alone, and honestly, it's boring to always be alone. Now, I do enjoy my alone time. I do enjoy tuning life out and quieting everything down, but not all the time. When you want to go to a basketball game, you want to go to the rodeo, or you want to listen to your idea that you feel like God wants you to share and get feedback on, you're going to want trustworthy friends around you. And that's when you have to learn to be one yourself, right? And if you don't know how to be one, it's okay. I didn't. I thought I did. I thought I did. I thought I did. I realized, no, you always think you're right. You don't know how to say you're sorry. You're not that great of a listener. And these are weaknesses that I have. But they're all weaknesses that I was able to hear from God tell me. And what I did was I released them and I gave them to God and said, God, teach me. Teach me how to listen like you. Teach me how to love like you. Teach me how to sit on the bench and cheer someone else on like you. Teach me how to show up even when it's hard, like you do for me. Teach me. And God will do it for you. I'm telling you, journaling, reflecting, going to church, Bible study, counseling, reading. I have a ton of self-help books on my bookshelf that I just read. I just was in a season of growing and learning. That's all I would do. And I would present my weaknesses to God and allow Him to share, hey, where can I go to work on this area? I want to be better at this because I want to be a representation of who you created me to be. And I want to be the healthiest version of Brittany that I can possibly be. Teach me how to be a good friend. Because I know when you teach me how to be a good friend, that I can receive friendship better and I can give it better. And together it works. It works. And I'm going to attract a better community. I'm going to be able to encourage people. They're going to be able to encourage me. And together we're going to be able to do something great. We're going to be able to walk in our purpose. And that is what you want. You want that type of friendship in your life. You want to be that friend to someone, and you want that someone to be that friend to you. It makes life worth living. It makes life so much more fun and enjoyable. And let me tell you, friendship is huge. I remember reading this one little Instagram reel. It was so real because the girl was saying, I'm married, but my soulmate is my best friend. And I was like, you know what? Yes, because it's true. It's true sometimes. Sometimes your boyfriend or your significant other, your husband is going to be your best friend, is going to rally for you, but there's nothing like a best friend, a best girlfriend. Come on. We all know that. You go to the movies with them, but you also tell them your dream. You cry with them, but you also go get your nails done. You know, come on. And you don't have to beg them to do any of it. Right? You're just on the same wavelength 90% of the time. So I want to encourage you to do some work. All right? Do some work, do some reevaluation. Just step back. Think about the people in your life. Are they going where you're going? Do you feel led to keep them in your life? Are you going where they're going? Do you need to do some self-reflection on who you are? Are you in a different season? Do you feel called to be in a greater season? Do you need new people around you? Should you be thanking the people already around you? I want to encourage you to take some time and sit with these questions and truly answer them. Because as you continue to grow, as you continue to discover your purpose, you're going to continue to realize, wait, I have people in my life, or I probably need to reassess and reevaluate and join a new group, join a new Bible study, join some new networking events, stay a little bit later after work and probably converse with a few new people and put myself in new rooms and opportunities. Just think about, where are you? Just be authentic and true. Yes, life is about having fun. Life is about laughing, going and doing amazing fun things. But There's also a business career aspect of life too for for the majority of us. So don't forget that part. Sometimes we neglect that part with our friendships, and sometimes our friendships we have to realize they're not always going to be one group. You can have more than one group. You can have a church group. You can have a group of friends at work. You can have a networking group of friends. You can have a group of friends that you go play chess with, board games with. You can have a group of friends to go bike with. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why discovering who you are is so important. What you love, what makes you smile, what you could do all day, all those great things that, once again, I do share tips and advice in my book, Single on Purpose, that can encourage you to walk in your purpose and discover your purpose. And I encourage you to pick it up and grab it off Amazon, because I really believe that every chapter will speak to you. And it will lead you and guide you to living a more purpose-filled life. And there's simple, practical steps, just like in this episode, for you to just take a few minutes and apply them. And you'll start to see, wow, my life is changing around me. The way I think, the way I treat people, the way I speak, the way I feel on the inside, the way I see God. I'm telling you, your life will begin to change, and you will truly start to live single on purpose. I am Brittany Batson. Thank you again for tuning in to my podcast, Single on Purpose. I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next episode, I'll see you then.